different level. They don't bow to pressure, they don't break under attacks, and they don't compromise who they are. They are spiritually untouchable. When life throws its hardest punches, these women rise higher. When storms come, they stand firm. And when darkness tries to close in, they shine bright. Let me tell you, being spiritually untouchable doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means you refuse to let those challenges define you, defeat you, or distract you from who God created you to be. It means you live with a strength that can't be explained by human standards. It means you carry a presence that intimidates the enemy because you know exactly who you are. So let's talk about 8 signs that reveal a woman is spiritually untouchable. She knows her identity. A spiritually untouchable woman is rooted in who she is. She doesn't let opinions, gossip, or society tell her what she's worth. She doesn't chase approval because she already knows she's chosen, valuable, and set apart. Her confidence is unshakable because it doesn't come from likes, compliments, or applause. It comes from a place deeper than the world can touch. She guards her mind. Her thoughts are her fortress. She refuses to let negativity take root. She feeds her mind with truth, wisdom, and faith. She understands that whatever she allows in her mind will eventually shape her life. So she's intentional about protecting her mental space. When fear tries to creep in, she fights back with courage. When doubt knocks, she answers with faith. 3, she walks in forgiveness. This is one of her superpowers. She refuses to carry bitterness or grudges because she knows they are spiritual weights meant to hold her back. She forgives not because they deserve it, but because she refuses to let anger control her spirit. Her ability to forgive makes her unstoppable because nothing and no one can trap her in the past. 4, she has discernment. A spiritually untouchable woman can sense when something isn't right. She sees beyond appearances and trusts her inner discernment. She can spot fake friends, dangerous situations, and toxic environments before they harm her. This wisdom allows her to walk in peace and avoid unnecessary battles. 5, she refuses to settle. She knows her value, so she doesn't settle for less than what aligns with her purpose. Whether it's relationships, opportunities, or her own personal standards, she won't compromise her integrity for temporary satisfaction. Her patience is her weapon. She's willing to wait for what's right rather than rush into what's wrong. 6, she speaks life. Her words carry power. She doesn't waste her breath complaining or tearing others down. Instead, she speaks faith, encouragement, and vision over herself and those around her. Her voice becomes a source of healing and motivation, and she uses it wisely. 7, she stays consistent in adversity. Anyone can smile when life is easy, but a spiritually untouchable woman remains consistent when life gets hard. Her faith doesn't waver when things don't go her way. She doesn't retreat under pressure. She pushes forward with courage, knowing that every trial is shaping her into someone even stronger. 8, she lives with purpose. Her life has direction. She wakes up every day knowing she has a mission. She doesn't wander aimlessly. She walks with intention. Because of that, distractions lose their power over her. She doesn't have time for drama or pettiness because she's too focused on becoming who she was destined to be. Ladies, let me tell you, this kind of woman is a force to be reckoned with. You can't shake her, you can't break her, and you can't stop her. And here's the good news, this woman can be you. So today, I challenge you. Choose to rise. Choose to stand tall in the face of fear. Choose to protect your peace, your purpose, and your power. You have everything it takes to be spiritually untouchable. Now it's time to live like it. She knows her worth because she has taken the time to understand who she truly is. Not just on the surface, but deep within her soul. Her value does not come from her appearance or achievements or what society labels her to be. It comes from a deeper awareness that she was created with intention and purpose. This inner knowing becomes the foundation upon which she builds her entire life. When others try to define her, she doesn't bend or shrink to fit their description. She has learned to silence the noise of opinions and tune into the truth of her identity. This makes her unshakable because she is not moved by every passing trend, every criticism, or every compliment. She remains steady, knowing that her worth is not something that can be given or taken away by people. A woman who knows her worth no longer begs for the bare minimum, because she understands she was never meant to survive on crumbs when she was designed to sit at the table of abundance. She does not chase what does not value her because she understands that anything she has to beg for is not meant for her. She has experienced moments of rejection, disappointment, and heartbreak, but instead of letting those moments define her, she has let them refine her. Every wound became a lesson. Every loss became a teacher, and every setback became a reminder that she deserves more than what hurt her. This awareness gives her the strength to say no to things that don't align with her value and the courage to wait for what does. She walks with a quiet confidence, not the loud, boastful kind, but the kind that is felt before it is seen. People notice her presence because she carries herself like someone who knows she belongs. She doesn't need to compete, compare, or prove herself. She has stepped out of the exhausting cycle of trying to earn love, respect, or acceptance. Instead, she attracts them naturally because her spirit radiates self-respect. Her energy speaks before her words ever do. This is why people are drawn to her, inspired by her, and sometimes even intimidated by her, because she is not living for their approval. Knowing her worth also allows her to dream bigger, without fear. She is not afraid to aim high because she believes she is worthy of good things. She is not afraid to walk away from toxic environments because she believes she is worthy of peace. She is not afraid to stand alone because she believes she is worthy of alignment, not just attachment. This kind of self-awareness becomes a shield that protects her from manipulation and mistreatment. No one can convince her to settle for less than she deserves, because she has already made up her mind about what she is worthy of receiving. She knows that her worth does not decrease because of someone else's inability to see it. She does not let rejection lower her value. She does not let failure convince her that she is less capable. She does not let betrayal harden her heart or make her question her significance. Instead, she sees all of these moments as redirection towards something better. Her worth is not situational. It is constant, unwavering, and deeply rooted in who she is at her core. She protects her peace like it is her most valuable possession, because she knows that without peace, everything else falls apart. She understands that her mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being are the foundation upon which she builds her life, and that foundation must stay solid no matter what is happening around her. She is intentional about what she allows into her space, the conversations she entertains, the people she spends time with, and the energy she surrounds herself with. She is not afraid to set boundaries, even when those boundaries make other people uncomfortable, because she knows protecting her peace is not selfish, it is necessary. She has learned that not everyone deserves access to her heart, her time, or her mind, and she is unapologetic about guarding those parts of herself. Her peace is her power, and she treats it like a sacred treasure. She does not allow unnecessary drama, gossip, or negativity to take root in her life. When conflict arises, she does not add fuel to the fire, but instead looks for resolution, or walks away completely if resolution is not possible. She knows that engaging in pointless battles will only drain her energy and distract her from her higher purpose. Instead of letting anger or bitterness fester inside of her, she chooses to process her emotions in a healthy way. Release what no longer serves her and focus on what will move her forward. This makes her unshakable because her emotions are no longer at the mercy of the chaos around her. She also protects her peace by being mindful of what she feeds her mind. She refuses to dwell on negativity or allow fear-driven thoughts to control her decisions. She chooses carefully what she reads, listens to, and watches because she knows that what she consumes will eventually shape how she feels. She fills her mind with wisdom, positivity, and truth that strengthens her inner world. This inner strength becomes her anchor when life gets heavy. No matter how loud the noise becomes around her, she stays centered and calm because she has trained herself to focus on what she can control and release what she cannot. Part of protecting her peace is learning to say no without guilt. She no longer feels the need to be everywhere, do everything, or please everyone. She has realized that saying yes to everything is a fast track to burnout and resentment. Now she says yes to what nourishes her soul and no to what drains her spirit. She values her time and energy so much that she spends them wisely, knowing that they are resources she cannot get back once wasted. This discernment allows her to live a more balanced, intentional life where peace becomes her natural state rather than a rare moment she has to chase. She even protects her peace in the way she talks to herself. Her inner dialogue is not filled with constant criticism or self-doubt. She speaks to herself with kindness and encouragement, reminding herself that she is capable, worthy, and strong enough to handle whatever comes her way. By choosing thoughts that uplift rather than destroy, she creates an atmosphere of calm within her own mind. This mental clarity helps her make better decisions and keeps her focused on what truly matters. She walks in forgiveness because she knows that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. She has learned through experience that bitterness is a heavy burden, one that steals her joy, clouds her vision, and keeps her trapped in moments that have already passed. She refuses to live her life carrying grudges because she understands that they only slow her down and block the flow of peace she needs to move forward. Forgiveness for her is not about excusing what was done to her, and it is not about pretending that the pain never existed. It is about releasing herself from the control of that pain, cutting the chain that ties her to that moment, and choosing to be free. She has faced betrayal, heartbreak, and disappointments that could have easily hardened her heart. But she made a different choice. She chose to let those moments teach her rather than break her. She forgives not because the other person always deserves it, but because she deserves peace. She knows that carrying resentment keeps her connected to the very thing that hurt her, and she refuses to give anyone that kind of power over her spirit. Forgiveness becomes her shield. It protects her from the toxicity of bitterness and the temptation to seek revenge. It allows her to heal and continue walking in love even after she has been wronged. Forgiveness also allows her to reclaim her power. When someone hurts her, she feels the pain deeply, but she does not stay there. She processes her emotions, she grieves if she has to, but then she chooses to let go. In doing this, she refuses to let the actions of others dictate her future. She will not let a painful moment rewrite the story of her life. By forgiving, she takes back control of her emotions and her destiny. This strength is what makes her spiritually untouchable, because nothing anyone does can keep her bound for long. She does not confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. She understands that forgiving someone does not always mean allowing them back into her life. She can release the offense without reopening the door for the person who caused it. She can bless them and move on, never looking back. This wisdom allows her to protect her heart while still keeping her spirit clean. It is a balance that few people master, but she has learned that this is the path to true freedom. Even in situations where she has been deeply wounded, she uses forgiveness as a way to grow stronger rather than weaker. She looks at the pain as a lesson, asking herself what it taught her about boundaries, trust, and resilience. She chooses to take the lesson but leave the bitterness behind. This transforms her pain into power and her wounds into wisdom. Every time she forgives, she rises higher because forgiveness lifts weight off her spirit and allows her to move forward with clarity. She also practices forgiveness toward herself. She does not beat herself up forever for past mistakes, wrong choices, or missed opportunities. She gives herself permission to start again, to do better, and to grow from every misstep. This self-forgiveness is one of the most powerful forms of healing because it silences guilt and shame that try to whisper that she is unworthy of love or happiness. When she forgives herself, she steps into her true power because she is no longer dragging the past behind her. She trusts her inner wisdom because she has learned that her intuition is one of her greatest gifts. She pays attention to that quiet voice inside that whispers when something feels off, even when everything on the outside looks perfect. She has been through enough to know that ignoring her inner guidance only leads to unnecessary pain, so she has made it a habit to listen closely. This trust in herself gives her the ability to navigate life with clarity and confidence. When faced with decisions, she doesn't rely solely on what others say or what the world tries to push her into. She pauses, she reflects, and she allows her inner wisdom to guide her next move. Her discernment is sharp because she has trained it through experience. She has been in situations where she ignored her instincts and paid the price, and those moments became her teachers. Now she honors those signals. If something feels wrong, she steps back and evaluates. If something feels aligned, she moves forward boldly. This ability to sense what others might miss is part of what keeps her protected from harm and from unnecessary chaos. It allows her to avoid toxic relationships, deceitful people, and opportunities that are disguised as blessings but are actually trapped. She does not allow fear or pressure to silence her inner voice. Even when everyone around her is telling her to go one way, if her spirit tells her it is not right, she has the courage to stand alone. This is what makes her different. She does not compromise her peace just to fit in or please others. She would rather disappoint people than betray herself. This inner alignment makes her strong because she knows she is living in truth rather than living to meet someone else's expectations. Trusting her inner wisdom also gives her confidence when she faces crossroads in life. She does not feel the need to rush her decisions or move in desperation because she understands that clarity will come if she waits and listens. This patience keeps her from making choices that she will regret later. She does not allow herself to be manipulated by urgency or by voices trying to pressure her into something that does not align with her spirit. Instead, she stays grounded, reminding herself that what is meant for her cannot be taken away, and what is not meant for her cannot be forced to stay. Her ability to trust herself is also what gives her resilience when she makes mistakes. She does not let failure convince her that she can no longer hear correctly or that her judgment is permanently flawed. She takes the lesson from the situation and uses it to sharpen her discernment even more. This is why she continues to grow wiser with each season of life, because she never stops listening and learning. She treats every experience, good or bad, as a way to strengthen her ability to hear that inner guidance more clearly. She also surrounds herself with stillness so that she can hear her inner voice without distraction. She takes time to reflect, pray, meditate, and journal, knowing that silence is often where the answers come. She has learned that the world can be loud and overwhelming, and if she does not make space for quiet moments, she will miss the gentle direction that guides her toward her purpose. This intentional practice of tuning into her spirit is what gives her a sense of direction when others are lost, a sense of peace when others are panicking, and a sense of assurance when others are doubting. She stays resilient under pressure because she understands that adversity is not her enemy, but her trainer. Every challenge that comes her way is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next level of her life. She has faced seasons where the weight felt unbearable, but instead of letting it crush her, she used it to build her strength. Resilience has become part of her character, because she has made a decision to never give up, no matter how hard things get. She has experienced moments when everything seemed to fall apart, yet she refused to let those moments define her story. Instead of collapsing under the pressure, she allowed it to shape her into someone who can handle even greater things in the future. When life pushes her down, she doesn't stay there. She may cry, she may rest, she may take time to recover, but she always gets back up. She knows that staying down is not an option because she has too much purpose to fulfill. Her ability to rise after every fall intimidates those who expect her to break. The harder life hits her, the stronger she becomes, because every battle teaches her something new about her own power. She learns that she can survive things she once thought would destroy her, and that realization fuels her confidence for the future. She has learned how to remain calm in the middle of chaos. Pressure does not make her panic, it makes her focus. She understands that losing control emotionally will not solve her problems. So she centers herself, gathers her strength, and faces the situation with a clear mind. This emotional stability gives her an advantage because while others are falling apart, she is finding solutions. She knows that storms will come, but she has built her inner world so strong that the storms cannot tear her down. Resilience for her is not about pretending that pain does not exist. She feels everything deeply. The losses, the disappointments, the setbacks. But she refuses to let those feelings turn into permanent defeat. She gives herself permission to grieve, but she does not allow herself to stay stuck. She understands that healing and progress can happen at the same time. So she keeps moving forward even while carrying the weight of what she has been through. This forward motion becomes her victory because it shows that nothing has the power to stop her completely. She is also resilient because she chooses perspective over despair. When something doesn't go her way, she doesn't see it as the end. She sees it as redirection. She believes that even her most difficult seasons are working together to lead her somewhere better. This mindset keeps her motivated because she knows that the pressure she feels today is producing strength that she will need tomorrow. Rather than asking, why me, she asks, what is this teaching me? And uses the answer to become wiser and more intentional. Her resilience is also strengthened by the way she surrounds herself with encouragement. She seeks out environments and voices that remind her of her strength, not those that feed her fear. She fills her mind with words that inspire her to keep going when quitting would be easier. She reminds herself daily that she has already survived so much, and if she made it through before, she can make it through again. Her history becomes her evidence that she is capable of enduring whatever comes her way, and this fuels her determination to keep pressing forward no matter the circumstance. She lives with purpose because she knows that every day is a gift, and every moment is an opportunity to get closer to the life she was meant to live. She does not drift through her days waiting for something to happen. She wakes up with intention, knowing that she has work to do and a mission to fulfill. She understands that living with purpose means making decisions that align with her values, her vision, and her goals. She does not waste her time on meaningless distractions because she knows that time is one of her most precious resources. Every choice she makes, from the people she spends time with to the habits she keeps, is filtered through the question, does this move me closer to who I'm supposed to be? Her life is not ruled by randomness, it is ruled by clarity. She knows where she is headed and what she is building, which means she does not let every opportunity pull her off track. She has learned to say no to good things so she can say yes to the right things. This focus allows her to stay consistent even when others are drifting. She does not jump on every trend or get lost in comparison because she knows that her journey is unique. This gives her peace because she is not in competition with anyone else. She is running her own race at her own pace. Living with purpose also gives her the strength to endure seasons of waiting. She does not rush into things just to feel like she is making progress. She knows that timing matters, and she would rather build slowly and correctly than quickly and carelessly. This patience becomes a source of power because it keeps her from settling for less than she was meant for. She can walk away from things that look tempting but are not aligned with her destiny because she trusts that something better is on its way. Her sense of purpose also transforms the way she handles challenges. When difficulties come, she does not see them as random attacks. She sees them as part of the process, shaping her into the person she needs to become. She understands that purpose often requires preparation, and preparation sometimes comes in the form of trials. Instead of resenting them, she uses them to grow, knowing that they are strengthening her for what is ahead. This perspective allows her to keep moving forward even when things get hard, because she believes that there is meaning behind everything she faces. She is intentional about the people she allows into her inner circle, because she knows that the wrong company can pull her away from her mission. She surrounds herself with people who inspire her, challenge her, and push her to become better. She stays away from those who drain her energy or distract her from her calling. She knows that living with purpose requires her to protect her environment because the wrong influences can delay her progress. Her purpose also fuels her passion. She is not content just to exist. She wants to make an impact. She wants her life to mean something beyond herself. This is why she invests her time, her energy, and her gifts into things that will outlast her. She sees her journey as bigger than just her own success. It is about leaving a legacy, making a difference, and becoming a light for others who need hope. This fire inside her keeps her going on days when she feels tired, because she knows her life is too significant to waste.